everyone, it's me, Nita Rose, and welcome to my channel, and this is the manga review of Rave Master Volume 32, starting off with Chapter 263 titled The Power to Unite All, and ending it with Chapter 271 titled Pure Heart Passing Each Other By. So the first chapter starts off with the old man hitting Ellie down, saying terrible things about destroying the world. Haru starts to approach the old man as he continues speaking about the past of the overdrive and puts the blame on Ellie for the 20 million people that died. Haru heard enough of his BS and attacks the old man as the two started to fight, but Ellie started to attack when she heard the words war and games. She releases her powers once again and created a ball of light that the old man is surprised that she can control it while she's angry. She started to explain to him that her powers is connected to the people she loves. Ellie fires the magic light ball at the old man, but before it hits him, Haru is grabbed and thrown in front of it. Ellie notices him, but it's too late as she can't move it away in time and Haru is hit. He might have gotten hit, but he's not destroyed. CR once told Haru that the magic and the sword are one. Haru survived that attack because of the sword and his trust in Ellie as it goes in for another attack and takes down the old man. Ellie collapsed as she tired herself out, but the old man wasn't done yet as he told him that everything that happened was because of him, and then he started disappearing. Ellie and Haru buried Seaheart's skull to give him a proper burial, and then later everyone on the ship learned about his death. They all paid their respect to the citizens of Syphonia, and Haru gave a friendship speech and will keep moving forward. Now in the next chapter, we see a glimpse of Lucia's past and learn what happened to him after the death of his family, and that he was in prison for most of his life. Now on to the present, we see him walking towards his followers as he's praised by them. He was wondering if Ellie has been captured, but he got the response of no. He summons the beast within the Orb of Endless after sacrificing his loyal companions. An angel was trapped within an icicle inside a museum when she opened her eyes and freed from her icy prison. Two more demons has awakened as Lucia continues to plan to destroy the world. Now the crew on board the ship are heading towards town to get repairs done. Everyone is surprised that Ellie and Raisha are the same person, and Ruby wants to know how she looks exactly the same after 50 years. Well, according to Belnika, it's because of her magic, and that she's been asleep for all those years. Meanwhile, Ellie's trying to combine the Rave stones all together. Julia came to Haru and asked if he was worried about Ellie, but he told her that he trusts her and that he's relieved that she got all her memories back. Haru explains to Julia that Ellie has been afraid that she might forget everyone, but she didn't, and that's why he's relieved. Haru gives his speech while Ellie is still trying to combine the stones. Later on, we see Musuka reading his grandfather's journal when something caught his eyes. He threw the book and ran to the hangar to get one of the vehicles, but he can't pilot it without a magic user, so the kid came along. They both ended up in Punk City only to see it frozen in time. Musuka discovered that there is no 10th form within the sword that his grandfather forged, at least not with Haru's sword, as we do know that Shiba did use that form 50 years ago. Now that the others are frozen in time, no one else is capable of forging another sword except Musuka himself. Musuka decided to forge a new sword for Haru with the raw materials that he's found within the workshop that's luckily not frozen. Back on the ship, Haru noticed that Musuka isn't around as he told Violet and Julia that he has left the ship hours ago. Haru wants to go look for him but is stopped by Shuda to remind him about the final battle and they can't be wasting time looking for someone who left on their own. Back with Musuka, he continues making the sword as he and the little guy have a conversation about why his grandfather forged a different sword. The sword that the old man forged was only meant for Shiba. Therefore, only Shiba had the ability to control the 10 transformations since the sword originally belonged to him. Haru needs a sword of his own, one that only he can use with the control of all 10 powers, and so Musuka is forging a sword just for him. Musuka finishes the sword, but sometime later it breaks as there was something missing. But Musuka is not going to give up. Back on the ship, Ellie continues merging the stones together, but she fails as well. But that's not going to stop her as she keeps going. Musica kept trying to build the sword, but he keeps failing and injuring himself in the process, thinking it would be hopeless. But he started to think about Reina and remember during the time when he used alchemy to break the gold from the enemy he was fighting. Silver is no different as long as you put more strength into it. This made him realize what he had to do to create the sword, and that he must use his own power, blood, and soul to forge it. Everything around Musica started to unfreeze, and he finally made the sword for Haru known as Rave World. Musica collapsed as his grandfather came in and saw him on the ground. Haru and the others have arrived in the frozen city. Ruby and Griff see one of the houses is unfrozen and they figure that's where Musica is. They ran inside to see Musica on the ground as Haru just learned that Musica forged a sword and that it took his life. Haru doesn't want that sword as he screams at Musica to get up and hand him the sword himself. Musica is in dreamland as he accepted his death, but then Reina came along and told him that his destiny has just begun. They have a little conversation until Reina disappears. Musica keeps hearing somebody else call his name and then he wakes up. Haru and the others are happy that he's alive. Musica gives Haru the sword. Haru can feel the power from the sword as a beam of light shoots up in the sky, unfreezing the town. Haru raises the sword as he claims to defeat Lucia with it. Meanwhile, somewhere in a village where a man who has been scoring around and knows that most of the towns are cloudy with mist as he runs into a familiar man. Ellie's still trying to merge the stones together while Haru and the others told Old Man Musica about Ellie being Reisha. Old Man Musica felt sorry for Shiba as he never learned the truth, but Haru might figure out that Shiba knew Ellie was Reisha the moment he saw her. Old Man Musica was relieved to hear that, and young Musica suggests that they should leave as Haru is willing to take his old sword with him. He can't seem to let it go as he has been traveling with that sword for a long time. The Old Man Musica took Shiba's sword and it broke after swinging it at Haru's sword. Now Haru must bond with his sword and use it to defeat Lucia and have Shiba's sword rest with its master. I like the fact that Haru gets his own sword. It's quite original in my opinion. The crew make their way back to the ship after Musica says his farewells to his grandfather and tells him they should get drinks together next time they meet. Haru seems to be loving his new sword, but then a little starman announced that Ruby is in trouble. There seemed to be some kind of fog and everyone seemed to be losing their memories. The fog turned out to be the star memory according to Shuda. And just when it was about to get worse, a sword of energy cleared the fog and it turned out that the strange energy came from Ellie with the completed Rave Stone. Within a town, these two are having a conversation about the fight with Lucia and they can't wait for the ships to be repaired, so the old man bought a new one. So before going into battle, everyone has a feast. Also, this is one of my favorite chapters in the series, not because of all the shenanigans going on, but there's one particular scene that made me laugh my ass off every time I look at it. Musica and Julia have noticed that Haru and Ellie have feelings for each other, but Haru's too shy to tell her, and so the two came up with a plan to get him to confess. First, they get Ellie drunk enough when she passes out. Musica pins Haru down while Julia strips down Ellie in front of everyone. Now, something like this isn't new in certain types of genres. There's always jokes that make you laugh like actual jokes, and there are jokes that are just downright ridiculous, but still funny. Poor Ellie has no idea what's going on as Julia continues stripping her down until Haru confesses. But the guys around her are saying no because these perverts want to see Ellie naked. Oh, so you perverts want to see somebody naked? Well... Well, here you go. Honestly, this made me laugh every time. Haru fucking stripped down himself just to show these perverts. This is comedy gold right here, and not any of this. So Haru is ready to tell Ellie how he feels, and as soon as she wakes up, this happens. Yeah, I don't think that type of alcohol was a good idea, Julia. So this is what makes this chapter one of my favorites, because the jokes like this actually work and it makes me laugh every time I look at it. Honestly, I think it's also a good way to end the volume before the big battle. Man, this volume was a wild ride. Starting out with a unique battle and ending with a commentary chapter with the characters enjoying themselves before a big fight. We get more enemies that the heroes will face, Musica forging a new sword just for Haru, and Ellie merging the stones together to give it more power. But that is all I had to say, so what do you guys think of this volume? Do you like it, dislike it? Please tell me in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you like this, please leave a like, and if you want to see more, you may subscribe and hit that notification button to ring the bell, and I'll see you all next time.